What's going on? Welcome back. In today's video, I'm gonna go over the Nmap room in TryHackMe, and actually, it's not a completely new room, but it has been upgraded and updated with new questions and new stuff to learn. So in this room, I'm gonna go over the questions, okay, answer them, and then we're gonna deploy the practical example to demonstrate the use of Nmap scan. But this video is about answering the questions because I received inquiries about doing this room, because there are no available walkthroughs that are up to date with the new questions published in the new room or in this room. So we're going to answer the questions and explain why with every answer. Deployed, introduction. Now, of course, we can read through every task and answer the question, but some questions are not very clear, so we're going to answer them. And of course, we can read yourself the explanations of every task, but we're going to explain it briefly while we answer the questions. The first one, what networking constructs are used to direct traffic to the right application on the server? So you know, these network constructs are ports used to get the packets and direct them to the application on the server. So the answer is easy, right? Ports. How many of these are available on any network-enabled computer? We have, of course, 65,535 ports. You know that as well. Now, how many of these are considered well-known? As all of you know, the well-known ports are 1024. So this is no-brainer, easy questions. Now, Nmap switches. So what's the first switch listed in the help menu for sync scan? So all of you know, guys, -SS stands for sync scan or stealth scan, they call it sometimes. The UDP scan -SU, -S UDP, SS stands for S stealth, S or S sync. UDP here -S UDP. If you wanted to detect the operating system, of course, -O, you can memorize that by saying -operating system. Now here, scanning the services and their versions, as we do when we run the machines or when we do CTFs, we use -SV, V for versions. Default output provided by Nmap often does not provide enough info. So verbosity means, let's say an example. This is a verbosity actually. It's displaying real-time what Nmap is doing and what is the output it's getting. So that's what do we mean by verbosity. It's very good for debugging and getting real-time details of what's happening. So what switch would you use to save the Nmap results in 3 major formats? So OA, it is for all the formats, XML, HTML, whatever. Now OA in normal format, and of course greppable, you can use that for if you want to apply Linux commands on the output, and use grep, you can use the -O G. So the aggressive scan, of course, -A for aggressive displays all details about the target. So the T, when we use T here, T5, T4, T3, T2, it is controlling the level of speed. So the higher it goes, the quicker it will be. And the quicker it will be, the noisier it gets. And of course, you can control the switch here based on your knowledge about the target. So the target has, if you know the target is secured, has firewall, whatsoever, you would want to decrease this to T1, for example, or T2. Okay, now how would you tell Nmap to scan only port 80? This is about using the switch -P. So with -P, we specify a port. So -P and the port number. Now here, if you want to specify a port range, so -P, okay, and we specify the port range, the start port, the end port, between them we put dash or hyphen. So here, a very useful option that should not be ignored. How would you tell Nmap to scan all ports? Of course, all ports, we put -P and dash. How would you activate a script from Nmap scripting library? Of course, you would use --script to use all the scripts in your Nmap scan. So for example, let's give a live example here. No, I would need this. So Nmap, for example, -SV scanning the services and their versions, -SS steals scan. And of course, here I put P, all ports, --script, all scripts in Nmap, and I specify the targets. Here we put the IP. This is an example. Okay. So how would activate all of the scripts in the vulnerable category? What do you mean by that? So let me illustrate this. So here, new tab, split, left, right. Okay. So you know all of the Nmap scripts are located in cd user share Nmap scripts. If you do ls, you see all of the Nmap scripts are displayed. Now, what do they mean by category? So the category is, for example, as you can see here, we have vuln. Vuln mean that this script lies under the vulnerabilities or detecting the vulnerabilities, right? Enumeration here, for example, this script is categorized as an enumeration script. Vuln, enum, the same way all the other scripts work. So here, when we say how to activate all the scripts in the vuln category, when I want to run all of the scripts that contain the switch vulnerability, it means that I want to find out using the Nmap scripts if the target has vulnerabilities. So I would use here -- script equal vuln or enum to enumerate. Okay, overview scan types. Okay, this is done. Now the next one, TCP connect scans. So the question here, which RFC defines appropriate behavior of TCP protocol? This is easy. If a port is closed, which flag should the server send back to indicate this? So you know when we use TCP connect scans, we use the switch -st. And when we use this switch, actually, we don't care about the presence of firewall, right? We just follow the TCP three-way handshake. And if the port is closed, we would receive a reset scan. So the question here is saying, if a port is closed, which flag should the server send back to indicate this? Of course, it's reset, right? Reset means that the port is closed. If it sends acknowledgement, it means that the port is open. It follows the TCP three-way handshake because it is using TCP connect scan. Sync types, sync scan, the synchronization or the seal scan. So there are two other names for sync scan. What are they? You know, they are stealth and half open. We can use them to partially evade firewalls, partially, not totally. Can Nmap use a sync flag without sudo permissions? Of course not. It requires sudo privileges. Okay. Now, why it's called here half open? Because it doesn't complete the TCP three-way handshake. As you can see, sync, and then the target sends sync acknowledgement, and then we send reset packets, right? That's why it's called half open. You can use that to avoid or to evade firewalls, but not completely, actually. It depends on the situation or in the outputs you get. UDP scans, the slow scans. Now the question here is, if a UDP port doesn't respond to an Nmap scan, what will it be marked as? Open filtered. And you may perceive this as counterintuitive if you don't receive a response from the target. How could it be that the port is open or filtered? Because that's how UDP scan works. So UDP scan, as you can see, they are stateless connection, right? They don't follow the state of the packet. So they send the packet and they hope that the target would respond. So if there is no response, Nmap would assume that the port is open or filtered. If there is a response, right, it will be a response with a reset packet, meaning that, no, not reset, it will respond as the port is not reachable, which means that the port is closed. That's how UDP scans work. Now, when a UDP port is closed, as you can see, by convention, the target should send back a port unreachable message. Which protocol did you use to do so? As you can see, it's ISMB. Actually, this explains how UDP scans work. If there is no response, the port is open or filtered. If there is a response by port unreachable, it means it's closed. An example of that is here in this scan. So as you can see here, I used Xmas scan, Christmas scan, and it uses UDP, by the way. So here I received that all 99 ports were open, filtered. Why? Because there is no response. So this uses a UDP scan. And by getting no response from the target, Nmap assumed that these ports are open or filtered. Okay. Null, fin, and Xmas. Now, these kind of scans, we use them to evade firewalls because they don't use they don't send TCP flags in the packets. So whether it is null, SN, SF for the fin, and Xmas for SX, they send TCP packets. They send requests with no flags, TCP flags, which is not common for firewalls. That's why they are used to evade firewalls, but actually not on modern systems. Now, Xmax works the same way. It doesn't send, it's just send malformed TCP packets with no flags. That's why they are used to evade firewalls. Now, the questions here, which of three shown scan types uses the URG flag is Xmas. Xmas uses push, URG, and fin, right? Which is not the common way to communicate TCP packets. Why do null, fin, Xmas scans that are used for evade firewalls? As I said, they are not used all the time because many modern systems, IDS, would know that or would not respond to malformed TCP packets. Which common OS may respond to a null, fin, and Xmas with reset on every port? This question means that the null, fin, Xmas doesn't work always against Windows systems because the Windows system would send reset port, reset flag for these kind of scans. Why? Because it doesn't follow the protocol, right? They are malformed TCP packets. Okay. NEC scripts, the Nmap scriptings, they are written in Lua and they are categorized as we have gone through them earlier. We have the VOLN category, we have the enumeration, we have the auth, root, discovery, intrusive. Now he is asking which category of scripts would be very bad idea to run in a production environment. Of course, it's intrusive because it is affecting the target and the functionality of the service running. Now, the Nmap scripts here, the question is asking what optional argument can the FTP anonymous script take? Now, you would answer this question actually two ways. We can just go here and say ls-la grep FTP. So we have ftp.anonymous. We can open the script. You can see here how many arguments it takes. So here, description, you go down. So it takes one argument, as you can see. One argument, which is a list, the max list. The max list is a list of anonymous users to try against a target. So the answer is max list. Okay. Searching for scripts. Now here it teaches you how to search through the scripts if you want to use specific ones. For example, here, the question is saying, what's the finding of the script which determines the underlying OS of the SMB server? This one, how would we know that? We would use the grep actually. So clear ls and grep SMB. I want to look for Nmap scripts that contain the SMB in them. So here we have them, everything that starts with SMB. And the one it detects the OS running, it is SMB OS discovery. So here's the answer. Now read through the script, what does it depend on? If you know the dependencies of any of these scripts, we would use nano SMB OS and read through it. If you go down, we would look for dependencies, key. Okay, so dependencies is SMB brute. So it relies on this model to work. So here it is SMB brute. Firewall evasion. Now, firewall evasion, I've talked about this in many videos, and you can see I have uploaded many videos about talking about evading firewalls with Nmap. And I've talked about these, you can get back to these videos, but we can answer the question here, which simple protocol is often blocked requiring the use of -pn? It's ICMP. Why? Because you see here, I have used that in the previous scan, which I'm gonna talk about later. So here nmap -pn. -pn means don't use ping to scan the targets. Okay. Why? Because the target blocks ICMP packets, so it wouldn't respond to my scan. So I would use -pn. Now, what's Nmap switch allows you to append an arbitrary length of random data to the end of the packets. Reduce data length. You can research this. Okay, now the practical. So in the practical section here, or the practical tasks, we are required to do an Xmas scan, okay, and answer the questions according to the output. So the first question is, does the target respond to ICMP ping requests? Here I said no. Why? Because I know beforehand the target wouldn't respond, so I would use -pn to avoid having no response. So perform an Xmas scan on the first 99 ports. How many ports are shown to be open or filtered? So this is the answer, but how I got the answer? Switch back. So this is a scan I've done. Sudo nmap -sx for Christmas scan -pn. Don't choose ping. And here I specify to scan the ports or the range of 1 till 999, which is required by the question. Here, -v for verbosity, I want to see the scan real time and specify the IP. What the result I have got? Let's go down. And this is in a Christmas scan, right? I would, if the ports or if the response was open filtered, it means that the target haven't responded to my scan, okay? And Christmas scan sets that if the target doesn't respond to your scan, it means that these ports are open or filtered. The question here is, or the answer here is 999. 999 ports are perceived to be open. This is the answer. Okay, there is a reason given for this one. What is it? The answer will be in your scan results. Think carefully about which switches to use and read the hint before asking for help. Now, he is asking, what do you mean by this? So this one is mentioned here, as you can see, when I received no response. The answer is no response. Why it is mentioned here and is important? Because here it is trying to tell you that when the target doesn't respond or sends no response, it means that the ports are actually opened or filtered. Perform a TCP sync scan on the first 5,000 ports of the target. How many ports are shown to be open now? This is another scan. I'm going to close this one. Close this. So this is the scan they have asked for. Sync scan. This is the verbosity. Don't send ping. And here all the ports and the target. I received how many ports were open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I typed 5. Wireshark, don't need to do that. Deploy the FTP anonymous script against the box. Can Nmap login successfully to the port? I answered yes. Why? Because if we okay, so clear sudo nmap, let's say -ss, and here, or before doing that, what's the script required? FTP anon with an SE. So let's use this, and here we say -en, don't send ping requests, -- script FTP anon.nse, and we put the IP. Of course, in the results, you will see that Nmap is able to log in to target with the anonymous credentials. If you use the scan, you're going to see the results as I'm saying. So the answer is yes. So that was about the Nmap room. I hope you find this enjoyable and helpful in your learning. And before I say see you in the next video, let's take a look here. If it's not going to take time, you can wait to see the results. But if you do this command, you will see that Nmap is able to log in. Okay, I'm going to stop here and see you in the next video.